Have you ever heard the term backwardization? If you're involved in silver or any precious metals for that matter, this is a term you absolutely need to understand. It's a massive red flag, a warning signal flashing in the market, and it's happening right now. Stick with me because today we're going to break down what backwardization is, why it's a red alert for the silver market, and what it exposes about the paper market charade. So, what exactly is backwardization? In a normal, healthy market, which we call contango, the future price of a commodity is higher than the current spot price. This makes sense, right? It accounts for costs like storage, insurance, and the time value of money. If you agree to buy silver a year from now, you'd expect to pay a little more than you would to get it today. That's contango. Backwardization is the complete opposite. It's when the current spot price is higher than the futures price. Think about that for a second. The market is telling you that having physical silver in your hand right now is more valuable than a promise of getting it in the future. This is a huge deal. It signals a severe shortage in the physical supply available for immediate delivery. Buyers are so desperate for the real, tangible metal that they're willing to pay a premium for it today, rather than wait. This isn't some abstract financial theory. It's a real-world indicator of extreme market stress. It screams that demand for the physical product is overwhelming the available supply. We're not talking about paper contracts or digital entries. We're talking about actual physical bars and coins. When the market goes into backwardization, it's like a crowd rushing for the exits, and everyone wants the real thing, not an IOU. Many incredible analysts like the brilliant Lynette Zhang have been talking about this for years. They've pointed out the massive disconnect between the paper price of silver, which is set on exchanges like the COMEX, and the actual physical market. The paper market is where trillions of dollars in derivatives, futures contracts, and ETFs trade hands. The amount of paper silver traded every day dwarfs the amount of actual physical silver that's mined in a whole year. It's a highly leveraged system. For a long time, this system has been used to manage and, many would argue, suppress the price of silver. Large commercial banks can create and sell massive amounts of paper contracts, effectively flooding the market with supply and keeping the price down. But this only works as long as everyone believes the paper is as good as the physical metal. It's a confidence game. Backwardization is the moment that confidence begins to crumble. It's the point where the paper lie is exposed. When big players, we're talking industrial users, institutional investors, and even nations, start demanding physical delivery of their contracts instead of just rolling them over, the paper charade faces its ultimate test. They're calling the bluff. They're saying, don't just show me the paper, show me the metal. And what happens when there isn't enough physical metal to go around to cover all those paper claims? That's the core of the red alert. The COMEX and other exchanges have rules that allow them to settle contracts in cash if they can't deliver the physical commodity. It's a safety valve for the exchange, but it's a disaster for someone who thought they owned silver. They get a cash payout, but they lose their claim on the real asset, often right at the moment they need it most. Imagine the price of silver is starting to skyrocket due to a currency crisis or massive inflation. You think, great, I'm protected, I own silver through my futures contract. But then, the exchange triggers a force majeure, declares it can't deliver, and hands you cash based on a price from before the real explosive move happened. You get cash, which is depreciating, while the physical metal becomes unobtainable. You're left holding the bag. This is what backwardization warns us about. It's the market's way of shouting that the warehouses are running low. The demand for real, touchable silver is outstripping the paper promises. This isn't just a sign of a strong market, it's a sign of a breaking market. It shows that trust in the paper derivative system is failing. Why should you care? Because we live in an era of unprecedented money printing and debt. Currencies around the world are losing their purchasing power. Historically, silver and gold have been the ultimate safe havens, a store of value outside of the traditional financial system. But if you only own paper silver, you might just own an illusion. When the system truly gets stressed, the difference between holding a physical ounce of silver in your hand and holding a paper contract that represents. An ounce of silver will be night and day. One is a real, tangible asset with no counterparty risk. The other is a promise from a system that is showing visible cracks. Backwardization is the crack. It's the indicator that the game is changing. The demand for physical settlement is the key. As long as people are happy to trade paper, the price can be managed. But once the stampede for physical delivery begins in earnest, the true value of silver will be revealed. And that price will likely be determined not by a futures exchange, but by the simple, real-world law of supply and demand for the physical metal itself. So when you see reports of silver in backwardization, don't just dismiss it as financial jargon. Recognize it for what it is, a red alert. It's a signal that the physical market is tightening dramatically, and the foundations of the paper market are being shaken. It's a powerful reminder of the old saying, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. The truthers have been warning us, and now the market itself is sending the same clear message. The time to pay attention is now. Thanks for joining me today to dive into this crucial topic. Understanding these market dynamics is key to navigating what's ahead. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future deep dives. Stay safe and stay informed. See you in the next video.